Hello everybody and welcome to your channel IELTS Perfection. In this video, I'll show you the hardest question types in part 3 and exactly how to answer them like a Band 9 speaker. I'll show you the 6 common topics for part 3. Also, I will introduce you the ILC method that you can answer any part 3 question with, and we will have a lot of Band 9 examples. So, if you're ready, let's get started. In IELTS Speaking Part 3, you'll discuss abstract ideas connected to Part 2. The examiner will ask you opinion-based, analytical, or hypothetical questions like, why do people, how has X changed over time, or do you think this trend will continue? You are expected to develop your ideas fully, 2 to 4 sentences minimum, use advanced vocabulary, show flexibility with grammar, and stay coherent, meaning your ideas should make logical sense. The hardest questions come from the 6 common topics. Let's see what they are. Technology and society, environment, education, family and relationships, work and career, and happiness and success. Alright, before going through the topics and questions, I want to share a simple technique that will make answering part 3 questions so much easier. It is called the ILC method. I stands for idea, L stands for link, and C stands for consequence. It's a 3-step framework that helps you structure your answers clearly, expand them naturally, and sound logical and fluent, just like a native Band 9 speaker. You probably ask how. Whenever you get a part 3 question, don't just answer with one short sentence. The examiner wants to see your ability to develop your ideas, not just give opinions. So, first of all, you give your main idea or opinion. Then, you link your idea with a reason, fact, or example. And then you describe the consequence, like what effect or result comes from your idea. Now, you might be wondering, can I really use ILC for every question? And the answer is yes. ILC gives your answers a structure, but you can adjust it depending on the question type. Sometimes your consequence will be a contrast, sometimes a prediction, or even a balanced judgment, but it always follows the same clear logic. Very simple, right? Let's see that in an example. The examiner asks, why do people prefer to shop online nowadays? A sample Band 9 answer using ILC could be something like this.
People prefer online shopping mainly because it's more convenient and time-saving. For example, they can compare prices and order products without leaving home, which is perfect for people with busy schedules. As a result, traditional shops are losing customers and need to adapt by offering online services too.
Alright, now let's apply the ILC method on each topic and see what are the hardest questions. Topic 1. Technology and society. The examiner asks, how has technology changed the way people communicate with each other?
Technology has completely transformed how people connect and share information. In the past, people relied mostly on face-to-face meetings or phone calls, which were time-consuming and often limited by distance. Nowadays, we can video call, text, or even collaborate online instantly, no matter where we are. As a result, communication has become faster and more convenient, but sometimes less personal, because we often prioritize speed over genuine emotional connection.
This answer uses contrast, past versus present, and ends with a consequence, which makes it analytical and natural. The next question for the same topic is, Do you think technology has made people more isolated?
To a large extent. Yes, although it brings people closer virtually, it can also make them feel more emotionally distant. Many people spend hours scrolling through social media instead of talking to others face to face. They may feel connected, but it's often a shallow kind of connection. Consequently, some people experience loneliness even while being constantly online, which shows that emotional connection can't really be replaced by digital interaction.
So here, I use the ILC method with an emotional angle, showing both the connection and disconnection caused by technology. Topic 2. Environment. The examiner asks, why do some people still ignore environmental problems?
I think it mainly comes down to a lack of awareness and short-term thinking. Many people focus on their daily convenience, for example, using plastic bags or driving everywhere, without realizing how their actions harm the planet. In addition, some governments don't strictly enforce environmental laws, so people don't feel responsible. As a result, real change happens slowly, and unless education and policy work together to raise awareness, many will continue to overlook these serious issues.
This answer follows the classic ILC: cause, example, result. It also uses solution-oriented language, which shows higher level thinking. Topic 3. Education. The examiner asks, what changes do you think will happen in education in the future?
I believe education will become more digital and personalized over the next decade. With artificial intelligence and data-driven platforms, students might have virtual tutors that adapt lessons to their individual needs and learning styles. Traditional classrooms could evolve into flexible hybrid environments combining online and face-to-face learning. Consequently, education will be more accessible and efficient, but it may also reduce the social interaction that students get from studying in a physical classroom.
In this answer, I've used the ILC with a prediction twist. The consequence part talks about future effects, which is perfect for what will happen type of questions. Topic 4. Family and relationships. The examiner asks, do you think family relationships are as strong as they used to be?
I'd say family relationships are not as strong as before, especially in big cities. People are often too busy with work or distracted by technology to spend real quality time together. For example, family dinners used to be a daily routine, but now they're becoming rare because everyone has different schedules. As a result, emotional bonds have weakened in many households. That said, in some cultures or smaller communities, family is still seen as the heart of social life, so the strength of relationships really depends on the lifestyle people lead.
Here, I used ILC plus contrast, showing both the negative trend and the exception. This makes the answer more balanced and thoughtful. Topic 5. Work and career. The examiner asks, why do some people choose to change their careers later in life?
Many people switch careers later in life because they feel unfulfilled or want to follow their true passion. For instance, someone who spent years in finance might realize they prefer something more creative, like design or photography. In other cases, automation or technology may make certain jobs obsolete, pushing people to learn new skills. As a result, career changes have become more common, and lifelong learning is now an essential part of professional growth in the modern world.
This answer uses the ILC method with real-life examples. That's great for demonstrating fluency and natural development of ideas. And topic 6. Happiness and success. The examiner asks, do you think money is the key to happiness?
Money definitely plays a role in happiness, but it's not the whole picture. It helps reduce financial stress and provides comfort, which are important for stability. However, beyond a certain point, emotional well-being depends more on relationships, health, and a sense of purpose rather than material wealth. So while money can buy freedom and security, It can't guarantee genuine happiness that comes from a balanced life and meaningful connections.
Here, I used a balanced opinion. Yes, but while keeping the IELTS flow. This shows flexibility and critical thinking, both important for Band 9. Keep in mind to sound natural throughout the test, so you need to avoid memorizing full answers. Instead, memorize patterns and connectors. For that purpose, you can use the words like actually, basically, to be honest, or from my point of view, to sound natural and fluent. Also, there are some sets of phrases that you can use. For opinion, you can use
Personally, I'm convinced that. It seems to me that.
For contrast,
While that may be true to some extent, I'd argue that.
for speculation,
It's hard to say for sure, but I'd imagine that.
and for evaluation.
That really depends on how you define success.
Start using the ILC method to answer Part 3 questions and you will see the difference. See you in the next video.